Okay, welcome to the Music Concept, and today we've got Golden Axe Beats. We've got Aamir Ghani here in the house, and so we're going to talk about Aamir's future plans in rap. So future, past, present, and the now. Aamir.
Right guys, welcome to the Music Concept. I am so excited to be here because me and Mirzi have been talking about this for nearly months.
Long time.
We are finally here now. I would like to ask, how are you feeling about all this?
It feels a bit weird because it's something that just all of a sudden came out the blue. See, you talk about music a lot, you know, and the podcast seemed very interesting to me, and it grew overnight.
Excellent.
But I must admit, sitting here, there was a wee bit of intimidation because I know you know this equipment inside it. The only thing I know is that kind of Red Bull sitting. But you've been very helpful with me and keep me in order, and I'm happy with that. But no, everything's going good, Aamir, and this is a big thing for myself, you know. But it's like we have big talks in the gym all the time.
Definitely.
But I want the world to know now.
Yeah, the amount of times that you and I have had mad discussions in the gym, I really appreciate the information that you've given me because it's allowed me to grow as a person, and also it's allowed me to have a better understanding of myself. So that's allowed me to finally get more information, and it's allowed me to go towards different avenues. Okay, let's start with where I started off from.
Future plans. What's your future?
Well, my future plans at the moment is to join British Army for the Corps of Army Music. Simple being is because I've always had a passion for music, and there's always been something about army music in particular. In these past couple of months, I've been focusing on more towards marching snare drum, percussions, and overall the quality and improvement and development of the music within the army.
Why the difference between rap and the army? Different categories?
Yeah, different categories, but at the same time I felt that I wanted to change my style of music as well, so there's different elements, so I'm not just stuck with rapping all the time. I'm also a producer as well, so I get to make music on a computer based on the digital workstations that I work with, so I get to electronically make music.
Can the rap music, can the army music be sampled into rap?
I'll only find out until I get there. So that's ideally the reason why I wanted to go, because it piqued my interest for so long, and I always told myself, you're never going to know until you find out. So what are you going to do about it? So I initially went and did the application. I heard back from them. They said, great, let's get you in for assessment. And I did a 2 days assessment, which was possibly the hardest thing I've done so far. But because of your training and how I managed to get there, I definitely managed to get through it, and I passed. And I managed to get 9 minutes on the run, which was exceptional, and I managed to meet the eligibility and the suitability to join the British Army, and hopefully for next year, end of January, I'll be going in. And with the rap music, I'll still be able to do all that. That's not going to stop, because that's something that I'm truly passionate about, and through the British Army I'll be able to learn a new skill as well at the same time, because I am a drummer, and being able to do marching snare drum, I'm assuming that there's going to be similar elements, but they're going to train me up as I do my initial training, and that's going to impact my music in so many different levels, because you're going to be at a professional level right after your initial training, so there's going to be more of a different element to my music, so you'll probably hear differences in my music as well, because even when I started making music when I was around about 6 or 7, and I remember at my first time when I went into a recording studio, I went in no planning, preparation. There wasn't really that much of an understanding of how I was going to develop, but I managed to start slowly seeing that when I started going to college to study music, and I ended up going into sound engineering after a while.
What about influences?
Who's
your influences? We're going to name drop here, because a couple of weeks ago we had Lil Rev in here, and we don't want to start getting gangster rap. We don't want to start going him and this and him and that. His influences really there was Juice WRLD. That's a big thing to him. Who was your influences?
Well, my influences was actually quite vague, and the reason I say that is because I've actually looked up to a lot of people that weren't famous in a sense. I've always looked up to my family and friends because they were the ones that were giving me the support. And if I was listening to a lot of music, it was people from West Coast rap, like The Game, and then you got Ice Cube, you had people like Bone Thugs and Harmony, and then eventually I started to venture out into my own country, which is UK based music. And then you got garage, you've got grime, you've got Scottish hip hop as well. You've got a lot of different music going around now, and I'd say a lot of the music that I listen to has made a huge impact on my music. Like, because I'm an engineer and a producer, I got to have appreciation for all kinds of music, because if you're listening to one type of music, it's great, fair enough, you listen to one type of music, you're going to specifically tailor your hearing towards that specific type of music. However, if you're very open to more different types of music, pop music, Justin Bieber, like, you know, it could be anything.
Why did he point to me there when he says Justin Bieber?
Yeah, I know, because I know you listen to it.
There must be a song I like. See that? You just give me that hand gesture there. But it's good to have that variety of music. It's good. I've got a big variety of music. I can listen to absolutely anything, any kind of music, and that's what I say to people in the gym: play your music. You know, I can listen to anything. Yeah. You know, but where do you see yourself in 5 years? In 5
years' time, I see myself ideally graduating from army, and that way I can go and build my own recording studio from there. Ideally not a home studio, because I've had a home studio for nearly 5 years now, so I'd like to move on from the home studio, and it will allow me to have a premises built specifically as a business. Although I have a business already, which is Golden Next Beats, and then I also have my DJing business, Dynamix, I want to have a specific recording studio at some point.
Well, let's go back for 2 seconds. What made you start this? What made you be involved in rap? What did you just wake up one day? What happened?
I'd say it's happened when I was in primary school. I was writing music, and I remember rapping in the thin air, just no beats or nothing. I was rapping in front of people, and people were like, "You're really good at what you do, keep doing it, you know, you inspire me to start singing and all that now as well." And I remember going into talent shows in school, and I would start rapping, and people were loving it. And then eventually I started to go more towards instrumental making, started making my own beats, and then that's when I really started to kick off with my rapping. From there, started writing more, I started seeing more potential in myself as well. I had a lot of motivation and inspiration from a lot of people, and that allowed me to make more music. And I would say there was a time where I didn't really make a lot of music as well, because I was going down things like drinking, taking drugs, smoking, things like that. I started skipping school, I started doing a lot of other stuff, and then eventually I ended up dropping out of school, ended up working at a takeaway, and I kind of stopped music for a little while.
But see, when you hear some rappers talking about, you know, the drugs fueled thing, this and that, blah blah blah, you know, and they get inspiration for things like that, if inspiration's the right word. Do you feel as though you've took things for that? For being down, drugs, drink, fighting, do you take things for that and incorporate it into music? Do you feel that in your music?
I have stopped smoking cannabis for about 2 months now, and to a lot of people, cannabis is something that they think is not addictive. If you're in my shoes and you've been smoking cannabis for about 5-6 years, you wake up in the morning, the first thing that comes to your mind, what's it going to be? A joint. That's the first thing you're going to initially think of. So you end up rolling a joint, you smoke it, and then you're relaxed. And then when you're in that relaxed phase, you're sort of demotivated to do anything else.
Well, I always remember once seeing myself when I was in a party with a few pals, and my mate rolled us a joint. I don't know if it was weed, but I don't know what was there. And I always remember the lassie was going at the time, says to me, "What are you doing? You don't do that." I said, "I just want to try it." And I smoked it, and I waited.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us, mate.
I absolutely
happens to the best of us.
So, you know, so put my hand up to that in this wee podcast. Yep. So, but it's something I've never been addicted to, you know.
And for myself personally, I had to stop, because there was this health risk that I had in my head, thinking to myself, if I stopped, I can definitely see so much more of an improvement in my health and physical well-being.
And yeah, Snoop Dogg reckons that without his weed and certain things like that, he wouldn't be able to rap as good. Do you believe that?
I think that Snoop Dogg is talented the way he is, with or without cannabis. He definitely can make a beat, he definitely can rap, he can do whatever he wants to do if he doesn't have cannabis in his life. But because cannabis has been around him all the time, let him be. Like, he's allowed to smoke weed, he does it what he wants to do. I don't think he wants to stop anytime soon. However, for myself personally, it was a problem, because I couldn't get anything done.
Yeah.
I was constantly surrounding myself with cannabis, and then I was leading on towards other things that I didn't really want to get down towards as well. And then that's when I told myself, no, this is the final straw for me. I got to stop. And because I did that, I started seeing a much more fulfilled life, because it wasn't tying me down anymore. I felt more in control of what I was consuming in my own body. At the same time, I started to see much more of an improvement mentally and physically. And now it's been 2 months straight that I've not smoked. I'm starting to feel a lot better now. And the vaping as well, that helped me for a little while, but I've stopped vaping now because I believe there's a health risk in that too.
Do you?
Yeah.
See, I think there's a conspiracy with that. I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Yep.
And I think it's a conspiracy. I think it's just another way of getting you off of that, if things for there, because vaping's come on the scene not that long, and all of a sudden they know these massive health things that can go wrong with you. I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I'll jump on virtually anything when we crack up with me, but so I'll tell you one thing that got me when you were in the gym one day and you told me that you'd uploaded to Spotify album of the year. And I was chuffed for you. I was chuffed for you because it wasn't just talk, you done it. You went out there and you done it, And to me, Spotify, you've got George Michael and Queen and the rest of them, they're all on it. Everybody's on Spotify.
It's so mad to see my own.
It's so good to see your name on it, and that was good, because remember we've had all the talks, but it was never just talk with yourself, and it was these talks became a reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then all of a sudden, there's somebody in my gym who was on Spotify, album of the year, and we played it a few times, and then the video, the video was great. It was good to see the video.
If you guys have not checked out album of the year, it's on Spotify.
Album of the year on Spotify,
Apple Music.
Yeah, we'll send a link for that. We'll send a link.
And very happy with the outcome of that album, because at that time I was getting held down, and I managed to push out an album still.
Favourite track?
My favourite track has got to be, personally, ML1. I don't know if anybody has really tuned into a lot of the stuff that I do, but ML1 is a good track of mine because it talks about my area, where I'm from, and at the same time it discusses about the things that I was going on in that period of time. This was back in March, and a lot of people loved Shabby Kebab, a lot of people liked Saturday. There's a lot of songs, different variations of music, and hopefully for the next album that I'm working on is more dance based, so there's different variations of my music.
Do you have a release for that? A release date?
Not yet at the moment, no, but it's very secretive right now, so I'm working on it. But I'm super excited to release it, because
if you to pick a rapper that you could do a duet with, who would you pick?
Oh, yeah, you're putting me on the spot now, definitely, because I have so many people in mind right now that I can think of. If it had to be one person that I can think of, it's got to be The Game. Reason being is because I grew up listening to him, and I've always had this thing for West Coast music. Like I said, West Coast music has always been a thing of mine, and The Game was one of the artists that I would look up to. I would go to his gigs and I would listen to every single album. I would buy his albums. I've always had that idea that one day The Game is going to write a track with me, and although I'm not there now, it's not going to stop me from getting to where I want to be. So hopefully at some point in time, The Game will start to see my music and go, yeah, I like this guy's work.
We know this interview or this podcast about yourself, but we're going to bring Lil Rev into it. And Lil Rev, is saying that there's room for Oys in Scotland. Do you believe that?
Definitely, yeah. Reason being is because I don't think there is a limitation to how many people can get into this. Anybody can get into music. It all comes down to your discipline, how consistent you can be with your music. So if you're willing enough to put your work out there, build your fan base, put out things like mailing lists, and getting a genuine audience into your work, you don't have to sponge off other people's work, because you're creating your own. You're creating your own fan base, you're creating your own fame in a sense. And for some people, they get lucky, they might do it one song and they end up making a lot of people listen and tune into their music, and they all of a sudden don't have to be where they are now, they get to move on. But what Lil Rev said, I actually think there's a lot of things that are right with what he said, but at the same time there could be a little bit bits and bobs that he can probably adjust and see, okay, that's something that we can work on. it's not something negative, but it's something that we can work on. For a lot of people in Scotland, a lot of people think that there is no rap scene, but as far as I'm concerned, we've got a lot of people in Scotland right now that are starting to break through. For example, Shogun, like a lot of people probably wouldn't think to themselves, yeah, like we don't like that kind of music or anything like that, but it's not really about whether or not you like the music. It's about how consistent we can be with it and how much time we are willing to put towards it, and hopefully we can start venturing out away from Scotland.
Yep.
And we can venture out around worldwide. And
where would you like to record?
Where would I like to record?
UK or America?
Oh, see, because I went to Canada, it keeps coming in the back of my head. See, the recording studios in Canada, fantastic. I've been in multi-million-dollar studios, and I'll think to myself, right, this is great, but sometimes I'll think to myself, being in my own home studio is just as comforting.
Right.
And being in a multi-million-dollar studio, and because I've been in these kind of recording studios before, it's allowed me to venture out into analog equipment. So you're getting like compressors, EQs, this is all technical stuff, and being able to translate all that information into my own music, being at home with a computer, and you get to see it visually through the screen. It's the exact same philosophies. I think there is a difference in sound as well. When you're recording in a studio and being in a home studio, there's a difference in sounds too. So it really depends on what kind of sound you're going for.
Here's something, it's a wee bit. Yep, a wee bit.
And Abbey Road Studio, I like to see Abbey Road Studio at some point.
Wee bit of the blue. Okay, I get one of my clients, okay, is DJ Norman, right? Dance music, does all his own stuff with there. What if DJ Norman was sitting beside you right now? How would that conversation go between your line of work and DJ Norman? What would Norman say to you, and what would Golden X Beat say to Norman? Would there be a conflict in music there?
No, because I am a DJ myself, so I totally understand where he's coming from. We'll be talking things about,
because we're hoping to do this, we're hoping to put some of these guys together. We're hoping to maybe Golden X Beats and Lil Rev.
Yeah, you guys need to reach out to me, man. Let's do this, man. Definitely.
We'll get Norman in as well, and we'll start putting together all these links for everybody. We're going to be putting on the bottom. You'll see that as it comes up. But I'd like to see that. I'd like to see how do you compare against, not really compare, but what's your idea of music compared to Norman? What's your idea compared to Lil Rev? And theirs compared to Golden X Beats. That's what I like to see, you know.
I learn from everyone.
That's
the thing,
you know, that's like me. Being in a Muay Thai boxing instructor all my life, been in it all my life, you can learn from anybody. Yep. And I've never ever said mine is the best, my sport's the best, I'm the best. I don't operate that way. We can learn from absolutely everybody. In fact, one of the best moves I was ever shown in my life, I was 20 years of age at the time, and it was a boy at 12 showed me it, karate. Showed me a karate move, and I learned that.
Wow.
So you're right, we can all learn from each other. But this is something I might be putting together. I might be putting people together. But listen, everybody, we're going to just stop there just now. We wanted to make this just a wee quick episode on this one for here. And excellent. Golden Axe has been keeping me right with my equipment, spot on. But we're definitely going to be putting Golden Axe beats up with Lil Rev, and we're going to put them up with Norman. So let's see what they're all going to say to each other. I'll be looking forward to that. And as long as nobody spills my Red Bull for there.
I'm just going to put that down there in the meantime, then.
Yes. Golden Axe, thanks
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that, guys.